Welcome to
To
Shade
share.
and the City. I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do our recap of the love that happens after the lockup, season 5, episode 35. True or false?
Mm-hmm.
That was
It was
appropriately named.
definitely false.
Yes, it definitely was. So yeah, all of our new viewers, welcome, and all of our returning Shade Squad, please, if you haven't already, make sure y'all hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, we're just about to jump right into it because it's a lot of foolishness to get into. And let's get shady. All right, y'all. So we start this episode off. Oh, wrong people. Sorry.
Yes.
We
Wrong.
start this episode off with Shonta and True. Now you know where we left off last episode. We were, trying to figure out who is Tisha, and we learned that Tisha, aka Shantae, that's what
Right.
she likes to be called. That's weird. She said that they talked, while he was incarcerated. But it's the first time they met in person. Apparently, she had her own situation going on. She had a whole man while she was talking to True, and apparently she abandoned True to go back to her man. But she said we can still be friends though. And so True wants to know, basically what you want from me. And she's like, I'm just trying to see where it goes, And he's like, well, I can't really do anything. I've been in a relationship with Shantae, who's rolled it out with me for 2 years. But she basically wants something that I can't give her. You just realized that. I see a part of me is like, you're playing in our face because you knew this whole time. But okay, we can just say, he didn't know until he was outside how he was gonna feel, whatever. So
And
basically
never saw her in person.
with that part. Now Tisha tries to stress that Shantae might have been in love with who he was when he was locked up, but now doesn't realize he's a different person getting out. And tells him basically, figure it out, but I'll be waiting for you, friend. I'll be ready and willing.
She was so thirsty.
Thirst was real. Get her a drink, please. So yeah, then she's all trying to touch and grab on him, and I could appreciate if I'm gonna give True anything. And I even text Nels while I was watching this, and I said, well, I could appreciate he's at least like trying to push her off and trying to deflect. That's what it came off like. I was actually giving him his flowers until the episode continued. But he was
It
I
was
was
cool.
co-signing for him.
It was definitely because of the cameras.
Right. And she basically lets him know that anytime he needs some cootie cat, he can just call her up. Call me. Oh, when you need me.
Ew.
You don't have to worry. We can do. We
Mm.
can do. I'm just
Why
saying.
who want that? Like who wanted that easy? Like, ugh.
Well, I'm sure he'll probably call her. So his sister tells production that she thinks he likes how Tisha is, throwing herself at him or whatever, because that other girl is so boring. And I said, not the other girl, you disrespectful.
Did she say the other girl?
She said other girl, and then she said, oh, Shantae. She absolutely said other girl.
You don't remember her name, just like your friend's name is Shonta. Girl, bye.
And basically Shantae is, looking out the window.
Sitting up in her room.
Now she wasn't even in her room. She was walking up. Look, I don't know if maybe she was looking from different angles of the house to see. She just kept looking out the window. First she was in the living room, then she was in her room. She was just moving around. I was like, maybe she's trying to get a different angle to see if he's coming from somewhere else. Or
Did she get him his phone?
Did she give him his phone?
Yeah. Is that a phone that she gave him?
I would assume so.
She should have did like the other girl. Turned on my iPhone.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't. He was with his sister. She just
and he was at the gym. So
right. So that wouldn't have helped. She wouldn't have known that the other good. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, her intuition told her, but she
smart little cookie.
now. However, that don't mean I can't show up and do a pop up. Oh, I'm
I like to work out too.
right. Oh yeah. See, I'm that type of crazy. Okay. I'm that type of crazy. So then Shonta is confused because True said he didn't really have the best relationship with his family. And now he's with them all the time. And I said, because he wanted your money, boo. Duh. So of course I gotta make it seem like nobody cares about me, nobody's looking out for me, and that's why I need you to send me thousands of dollars because I have no one else. Come on, girl. Now, so she's packing up. She says she gotta go. She can't do it no more, and she tired. And so he returns just in time. And she's basically like, "Look, I'm leaving. I got to get back to my kids. I got to get back to my grandkids." And I said, "Well, you're only 34, I thought, but hey, I guess starting early, or I'm just saying." So yeah, so he says that he did go to the gym and then he went to lunch, and she tells him that what I just said, and so Truth tells her he's gonna go change and then he'll figure it out. And this is where I said, this is where you give him too much room. I just told you what I was doing. Either you're on board or you're not, and I'm leaving now. So but see, I would have been left. After you left me in the house for that long, I wouldn't even had a conversation with you. Again, he wouldn't have been able to get in the house because the doors would have been locked and I would have been long gone.
I'm gonna wait till you. Go ahead.
But and so then he tells her, basically he comes back, and it's just crazy. He comes back and says that, he feels like she doesn't want him to experience life and, and be on be on the outside or whatever, and trying to hold him down. So he tells her, basically, I don't want you to feel like I used you, but this ain't gonna work. Okay. Because you don't like to do nothing. And he ain't feeling it. So Shonta goes, now she's really, ferociously packing her bags, hurt, woman scorned. It was, girl, you should have just, I won't say set the car on fire because that's probably your only vehicle in the
yes.
But
hers.
Right. But then he does offer her 1K, so she doesn't feel used. And this is after I'm sure she says she spent thousands and thousands of dollars.
She's like, no, I'm good, girl. But I'm glad he just put it in her bag.
I would, because I was literally cursing at her. I was like, girl, if you don't shut up and stuff that money.
Thank you.
Right.
So I'm glad that he put it in his bag. I mean, in her bag.
Right. So then she, runs to the bathroom. She's in tears, and and then he comes back and follows her around the house, and then comes back and tells her, I feel like you tricked me. He said, and I said, it is the audacity of it all. I said, oh, and then Shonta
he kept on going. I was like,
Shonta's talking about how she feels stupid and realizes she's been played by True and she's embarrassed. And he tells her that he feels that she used him to build her up and give her love.
And only did all the stuff that she did to make him feel obligated.
Child.
I said, what is this? What are we watching here?
Let me tell you something. Me and True would have went back to jail that day. He probably would have went back because the police probably would have been called, but I would have went to jail along with him because I would be the aggressor. I would be the aggressor. And so, she ends up leaving, and we see her in her car, and the cameras are following her, and she's just breaking down and, calls her brother, and it's like, I should have listened to you, and, basically that he used her. And while True calls his sister as he's up in this nice Airbnb she done left him in, and it's like, yeah, she gone. I did it.
Broke up with her. But that's what I was gonna say. Why did you leave him in Airbnb, boo? Because if you really thought he was messing with somebody, don't you think he's gonna invite her over there?
And I definitely thought that was the next move. And it sounded like the sister was just ready to come over and like have a whole house party.
Yeah, and on your card. If they mess anything up, guess what? It's on your. I'd have been like, the reservation is canceled. You got to go. Call your sister now and tell her to come get you.
Yeah. So I mean, some people are on the fence. Some people feel bad for Shonta. Shade Squad viewers, y'all weigh in the comment section.
Is they named Treese?
No, I don't feel sorry for her at all. I don't. I'm sorry. I think we saw this coming a mile away. I think we saw this last season that this was going to happen. When she was talking about moving and last season and moving to the other house just to be in the state that he's in, and then we found out that she lost the last. It sounded like the money was funny, and I think what she's so upset about, again, like we saw last episode, is that she spent more money on this man than she's done herself. And now she's here without a job, without a man, and probably ain't got that house no more. I don't think she was probably in that house too much longer after this. So she really lost it all behind somebody who could give a damn about her. But we all could see that. But, sometimes people got to see it for themselves. And it is what it is. So, no, I don't feel bad for her. Actually, I can't even play advocate.
Imagine how much he showed her privately if we seen it publicly.
And not to mention, and this is no shade to Shonta, honestly, I understand everybody's different. I absolutely have moments where I become an introvert and I don't want to engage. Not too often, but I do have moments. And I don't know. For me, she gives me, she is just meant to be in like an online relationship, or like because she just doesn't seem like she engages well, like socially, if that makes sense. Like even when we see her talking amongst her friends and her family, she gives me the vibe, and that's literally probably the only reason this relationship was able to thrive, was because it was over the phone.
Yeah.
Because clearly she didn't take the time to see him in person. And I think honestly, and this is no shade, but I feel like if True would have met her in prison, like if she would have came to visit him, I think he would have realized their personalities don't match.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless, I mean, maybe he still would have took her money. But I don't think he would have been proposing to her. I don't think he would have let it go that far.
Right. When he said you tricked me, that's what I thought he meant.
Mm-hmm.
When he said you tricked me.
Yeah.
You're not the person that I knew over the phone.
Right.
In person, you're totally different.
Let's get into Nell's favorite.
Joey. This child think everybody my favorite.
No, but I know this is her personal favorite. This is like number one out of the Love After Lockup franchise.
I can't stand them. I really can't stand them.
Now this is another one. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her at all.
At least she was smart enough to put a tracker there. I mean,
you
guess it still really don't make a difference.
She said she makes $15 an hour last episode, and you went and bought this man a car after he.
I was thinking, I was like, the math ain't mathing.
Right.
The math is not mathing here. I hope you don't end up in jail, Kim.
Oh yeah, we got some Latisha tea to talk about.
I hope you ain't doing no illegal things for a piece of change. So yeah, over at Kim's house, everybody is waking up Christmas morning. Joey said the boys got up in the middle of the night and came in their bed and basically kept them up. He's super exhausted. This ain't what he used to. Okay, the only people he used to being woken up by is the guards. All right. He said he's really feeling like a dad after a few hours. Okay, so you ain't seen nothing yet. Right. Then Miss I'm Brokey, okay, who ain't got no goddamn money, takes Joey outside to show him the car she got him for Christmas. This is what Trace was talking about. And I don't know remember hearing him say thank you.
I don't either.
I think he said something like, "Oh, it's just like yours," or something like. I didn't hear really no gratitude for real, but
No.
maybe I missed it.
No. You know what? He showed his gratitude in his actions because he got in the car and drove off. Not shortly after she gifted him with the vehicle.
I wouldn't call that gratitude, but
I'm saying he's showing it through his actions. He's showing because he's using it, he's utilizing it. You know that because he's so grateful.
We knew that was definitely going to happen. We knew
right.
that was going to happen. Then she said she plans basically to treat him like a child, okay, because she put air tags in there, okay, and said that if he does anything that he's not supposed to, he won't be allowed to drive. Allowed to drive. She wanted another kid. Mercy. Then he wouldn't get off his phone.
You just letting him run up in it raw, and he, like, to your point, he's pretty much a kid himself. You got two kids that are overwhelming as hell, but you don't. And they the third one by the eldest kid. Just saying.
That's the most expensive one.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't got no damn job. So then this man just keep on. He constantly on his phone. First of all, it ain't even been 24 hours, has it? Okay, he's on his phone texting God knows who, and she asked him who he was texting, and his response was nobody.
Let me tell you something. The fact that you sit up here, you can't tell me who you texting, and then you just get up in the car and go, can't tell me where you're going. Yo,
man got up. He got up, put his clothes on, and basically ran out and did not tell her where he was going. Oh, I'm just going out for a little bit.
And it's Christmas Day. They are in a small bubble.
Everything is closed.
Thank you. They are in what, if I'm not mistaken, what was it? Asheville, North Carolina. I can guarantee you there was nothing open. Maybe outside of the gas station, I can guarantee you there was nothing open. Maybe the Walmart, but in places like that, I'm pretty sure they're closed on Christmas Day.
It's given he was looking for trouble.
Okay? Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. So when he did say why he left the house, I kind of felt him, but he could have just said he was going to get some fresh air. Yeah, Joey, said that he left the house because it was a little too hectic for him.
Not even that. I would have said, "Yo, I love my gift. I just want to take it for a test drive. I'm about to spin the block real quick. I'll be right back."
And 2 out of 10, she'd have been like, "Oh, we'll take us and the kids with you." Oh, we'll take us for a ride too, or something like that. The only reason why I can understand, he probably didn't want to say what it was because he didn't want to hurt her feelings, and anything else would have been like basically, well, why can't we come? Is what I'm assuming. Okay, but regardless, it has Kim sitting at home feeling like everything that's happening is everything that she was afraid of. So he says that really he's just driving around. He said he wished that he could see his friend Tanner, who passed in 2006. Apparently he was racing a Mustang with his headlights off and hit a power pole. He thinks because he didn't grieve properly is possibly the reason that he went down the road that he did. And he's really just riding around reminiscing on his drug selling and being a fiend days is what it really looks like. And he said he really changed his life around because of Kim, because he knew if he didn't, she was not going to accept his ass doing the things that he was doing, because she don't want no drugs in her life. But I mean, at least she'll be able to go back and watch the show and kind of get over it. But I mean, yeah, I think he still could have just said like, I just wasn't.
I just got out.
Yeah, I just want to ride around. You know what I mean?
My whole thing with this situation that upset me, as usual, is about the kids. It really irritated me that you're so focused on it's Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And not only should you have probably something on the stove, or maybe you're going over to somebody else's house, but although I don't like the fact that he left and whatever, without really saying anything, I was more upset with her being more focused on tracking him and trying to figure out where he was than being focused on her kids on Christmas Day, Christmas morning at that. Those are time situations you can't get back. And I just, again, it's always about the kids for me. And I just felt like, you know what, at the end of the day, like you said, he gonna do what he gonna do, and you gotta trust him. But what you're not gonna do is ignore your kids because you're too busy tracking to see where this man is at. That part. Hey, y'all. So next we are going to hop into Julian and Christine. Now, Julian and Christine wake up from a night of sexual healing. And when I tell you that the mouth was still mouthing, it was doing it. Okay.
Right there.
Huh?
She actually don't look bad right there.
Oh, in that picture, yes.
But you know what? She looks like she belongs like a character on Orange is the New Black.
I could see that. So she wants to see her child, but she doesn't know if her mom will let her see her son. Julian says that he supports whatever she wants to do, but reminds her that, she was just released yesterday. Pace yourself, take your time. But I think her concern is they're getting ready to come back to Annapolis, Maryland, where Julian lives. And right now they're in wherever, West Virginia. Okay. So, Julian says that he knows her family and they're great, but he also knows that Christine has done things to sever ties with her own family and they're not as forgiving. He tells her that he hopes that his family can be her family. But then we find out that even though he's told his family about Christine, they don't really know about Christine. Now, I'm actually going to defend Julian in this.
I don't blame him for that, for not telling her
straight out the gate, because I think we often talk about that on other shows, and it's like, why would you share with the worst things about a person when you're introducing them to someone or telling someone else about them? That doesn't make sense, because then you can't be surprised if they don't with them, if you're giving them all the worst of their traits
before they even meet them.
Right. And so basically, Christine feels like he might be a little ashamed of her, though. So she goes to get pampered because Julian has paid for it. And we see that she's getting her hair done. The plan is to go talk to her mom and try to see her son, I thought. But then she never actually talks to the mom, and they just end up leaving a gift on the porch. But she talks about on the ride there, just,
she said even the thought of it triggers her.
Right. And she's not trying to be triggered to go use again. So, basically she says her children being taken from her really took her over the edge. And she talks about how she went from being like a middle-class soccer mom, minivan, to living in, I believe it was her grandmama's basement or her mother's basement, and just losing everything. But she also said it was because I think she had gotten hooked on
prescription pills.
Yeah, prescription pills. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Went downhill from there.
Right. So basically they dropped the gift off at the door. She doesn't get to see him. She gets emotional. And like I said, she has her reservations about going to Annapolis because her son's in West Virginia and other kids are in Ohio. And what was so crazy to me was the fact that when they got caught at the Walmart, it was in West Virginia, which makes me feel like, did y'all even make it out of West Virginia before y'all stole, or is this a return trip?
I don't know who's gonna drive all the way to. She said it's like 5 hours away, right? We got West Virginia's in Annapolis. Why you gonna drive 5
Virginia's in Annapolis?
Walmart's in Annapolis. Why you driving all the way to West Virginia to go steal? They was probably like, we got to get this money by tomorrow to get to Annapolis.
I don't know, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think. And on to
Tracy's favorite, Z and Troy.
Thank you. Just call her Z.
So Troy and his mom, they get to the house, and she said she got to do her inspection, make sure it's nice and clean. She's like, it is. Okay, she giving wife vibes. It's clean. It smells good up in here.
Troy's mama is a piece of work. I like her. She's great for reality TV.
She really is. But apparently she don't get along with nobody, including this man's baby mama, which we didn't really find out about until now.
Right.
He has a 7-year-old daughter that lives in Buffalo, and he hasn't seen her for 7 years. So it's giving, maybe he met her when she was a baby, firstborn-ish, because really it sounds like you ain't never seen her.
Well, I think he's seen her. They just never, because clearly the mother knows about her and was like, but is upset because they can't see her or whatever. So I think while they were
together, I think he never seen the daughter. He said that they said that she's 7, but he ain't seen her in 7 years.
Oh, so then maybe he didn't see her beside, like, after
she was born.
Right.
Yeah. Now the mom does say that, I think her name was Yana. Yana, the mom, that Yana is a good mother, but she is a bitch. Oh, here it is. Yep, her name is Yana. Yana really don't see it for Z. Okay. But you know, Z said that she would like to try and be friends with this girl. I don't know, for whatever reason. Apparently the mama, you know, she felt some type of way about what's the mama name? What's her name again? Karen? What's her name? Karen? His mom.
Oh, I ain't get his mama name.
Oh
yeah, it is grandma, because the little boy said Grandma Karen. You're right.
Okay, I was going to say it's in my notes somewhere. Apparently Karen felt basically this was the perfect time to go off about the baby mom, saying, you know, she got some nerve to be bringing a man around my grandbaby, but you can't bring your daughter around Z. And you know what? Really, Z is just feeling super uncomfortable about the entire conversation, because she said this isn't about Yana. Okay. And she feels like, you know, secretly Yana is still in love with Troy and she wants that family back together. But she said Yana is just going to have to get over it because she is the wife and she ain't going nowhere. Okay. If he like, he would have put a ring on it. Okay. Z. Well, I mean, but according to
your spirit guide.
Yeah, right. You going somewhere, but basically she said
this is why I am scared of personal readings. This is exactly why. I'll do like a generic, like for all Pisces, because I know everything may not apply to me. But I feel like she is so stuck because that was for her, or that's how she's receiving it. And so she's in the mindset that no matter how things may be going, it's like doomed because of what this lady had told her.
Yeah. Now, basically, they had a super awkward dinner because she really wasn't feeling it and was feeling some type of way that her mother-in-law kept on bringing up the ex, and she didn't address it. But when she got to the room with Troy, she told him that she needed some space and time, and basically kicked his ass out the room and told him to go sleep on the couch. Then when he got in the living room, you know, his mama basically like, what the hell going on? You need to figure that out, okay? And he's like, basically, it's because you kept on bringing up Yana. What the hell you thought was going to happen? And she really don't seem to give a damn. She's just like, and then she said, you know, Yana just swear she gonna give you some booty when she see you. Okay, because you don't think Z hear that in the next room. You don't.
Miss Karen don't care.
Yeah, she don't. She don't give a damn. So when they woke up the next morning, he actually said he had a nice, comfortable little sleep. Okay, anything is better than a jail mat.
Right.
But clearly, Z didn't wake up on the right side of the bed, because when he tried to address her, she completely ignored his ass. She said they were supposed to go to church that morning, and Karen was supposed to meet her family, but she don't even know if she wants to do that anymore. So Karen told Troy that basically he is the man, and everybody better pipe down and listen to what he got to say. That's really not what it's giving, but
no, I was gonna say not. It ain't even been 24 hours for real.
It's really not what it's giving. So.
And he knows that. That's why he ain't say nothing.
That's why he ain't say nothing. But
he know better.
He did go to talk to his wife. And she did apologize for being petty and making him sleep on the couch. But she said, you know, yesterday was super unexpected. And she didn't want to constantly hear about Yana. He said that, you know, he don't know what his mama's angle is. Maybe, you know, she just needs to talk to Yana, but his focus is his marriage. And he doesn't want anyone or anything to come in between that. Then now that she's feeling better, you know, she's decided it's time to go to church, but she is nervous to bring Karen around her family. What?
I just want to say, Shout out to Cap City Casanova in the comments who said that I didn't say this, y'all. I'm just Cap City Casanova said Z got Miss Netta skin. Thanks for dropping down in the comments and giving us your feedback. We appreciate you. And
I'm the shade.
right. Sometimes our viewers are shadier than us, y'all. Okay.
Oh my god, yeah, they definitely shadier than us. Well, she's nervous to bring Karen around her family because she knows that Karen is uncontrollable. And literally, as she's saying this lady is talking about how she ain't got no panties on because she don't know where the hell they are. And she was like, okay, well, you know what? Screw it. I know she said something. I ain't put it in my notes, but I know she said something about the daddy. She was like, if he wasn't your daddy, I'd be praising the Lord with my legs in the air or something like that.
Mama Karen is special. She's special.
On top of that, this lady took 2 gummies before she went to church.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't already turned up already. So Z knows it's going to be trouble. Okay.
Especially them edibles, because you never know when they going to hit. That's my
She knew not to take 2 because she asked Troy if he wanted one and she said, don't take 2. But your ass took 2. And before church and before meeting somebody.
I know she was feeling the Holy Spirit, all right.
Mm-hmm. So on the way to church, Karen, wants some details about the church. Z tells her that it's a Baptist church. Her daddy was an opera singer, and she just cannot get over the fact that this man was a Black opera singer. Then when they get to the church,
she said that the church was in the ghetto.
She just said church.
And then
she said,
I don't know if anybody else noticed, or I don't know if the rest of the congregation didn't get the memo, or maybe they decided to attend virtually that day.
That's what it was. So when they get to the church, when they started talking about churches or whatever, I guess Troy was talking about what churches he went to as a kid. She said Troy went to a church with his daddy walking down the aisle for his wedding and had no idea. But then she talks about how she was still screwing Troy's daddy when he was supposed to be getting married to the other woman. I was like, all of this on the ride to church. Oh, this is too much. We doing too much right here. Okay.
Mama Karen keeps it real. Sometimes it could go wrong, but she keeps it real. I can appreciate her.
You know what? I would have just turned on some gospel and turned it all the way up in the car.
Right.
I ain't got to hear none of this. Not on my way to church. So then they got to the church. The mama is super happy to see him. She said she's hoping that he'll join and become a minister. Don't hold your breath, baby.
That's cute. She wants him to become Pastor Troy. That's cute. That's cute. Like Pastor Troy. Okay.
Z said that her dad gives interactive sermons. So she's super excited for Troy to see how different it is from the average sermon, but he really seems uninterested. It didn't.
Well, what's so crazy, she already said, she told us first episode she don't even like being there like that. So now I don't know. I mean, maybe because it's your parents, but you thought he was going to be able to do something. They was going to be able to do something for him that they can't do for you.
I don't know, but he was definitely uninterested. He was not giving not 2 dams. Karen, though, she got a kick out of it. She said he sounded like a comedian. And yeah, Z is just super nervous to introduce her because she realizes that she is high as hell in this church right now.
I can't wait. Higher than them right now.
And I catch the Holy Ghost in this right now. Okay.
So Hope and Arthur. Now, can I just say, and I think we've all said it, this is a very handsome man, and I wish he didn't have that thing in the middle of his head.
Yes.
I definitely see why Hope want to be down with what he's going through. Okay. Now, Arthur meets up with his mom because she wants to spend some time with him. He says he loves spending time around her. I'm sorry, it's in my notes. It said, what's going on with her hairline? She reminisces on, it was, okay.
I think I do remember. I do remember. Mm-hmm.
So she reminisces on a time when they were distant because he was wilding out and he went to jail at 17. What'd you say?
I should reminisce on the love we have.
Well, not for the parents.
Let's make the time tonight. You said what?
That is not the appropriate song for him and his mom.
The feeling is so
I hope they never had that type of love. But anyway, so Arthur talks about how much she worked and was away from the home because she had to support all these kids. And basically she does admit that she had to leave her kids to work. I mean, but he feels hurt that his mother blamed herself and says that he's not angry with her. And he was basically, he takes accountability and said, I was just rebelling while you were out here trying to, hold it down and do what you were supposed to do. So he gets emotional, which kind of touched my heart, and, talks about how he got in trouble the night his mom basically told him to come home and do his laundry, and says that if he would have done that, he feels like he wouldn't have been locked up. So he says that it hurts him to see how everyone kept moving and growing. He talks about his little sister, I guess, just having a prom and, just going through life, and he's missing all of these milestones. And so his mom is like, I want things to be like they used to, where we could just watch TV and you could lay your head in my lap. And I'm not going to lie, and I am a boy mom, but literally when she said that, I was like, girl, it's a little too late for that.
Let's make the time tonight.
Stop.
Reminisce on the love we had.
No. So anyway, and so basically I can even appreciate Arthur basically like, Ma, that's cool and that's a sweet thought, but I'm a whole grown ass now.
We're way past that.
Right, we're way past that. And I'm staying here with hope. I'm gonna be a man.
Hope.
Right. And he says, he won't let hope jeopardize him, because then she's like, well, I'm worried if y'all get into it, and y'all get the fuss and fighting, that you're going to end up going back to jail. And clearly mama is a clairvoyant, because we all know that Arthur is in jail behind. Okay. So then he's greeted by an unfriendly hope when he comes home around midnight. And she's like, what you not going to be doing? It's just rolling up in here anytime you feel like it, sir. Now, I understood what she was saying, what I did not, because she didn't know where he was. However, like where he was, but however, you knew he was with his mom. So I thought this whole you coming in there. Now, if he would have came home at 3 a.m. from being with his mama, I might have looked at him sideways. But
the only thing I agreed with her with was apparently he asked her to cook something before he left.
Oh, and she made something.
And she made it and expected to have dinner with him. I don't know if he didn't reach out and say, hey, I'm not going to make it to dinner. I don't know what happened. Okay. She said there was no call, no text, no nothing. He didn't reach out. So I have to assume that she made whatever dish that he wanted her to. She was waiting for him for dinner, and he never corresponded with her to let her know that he wasn't going to make it for dinner. That's the only thing I agreed with her with. Everything else to me was BS. She was like, I think every other woman, no, boo, you're all on this. You're alone. You're a lone wolf on this one. No, I did not agree. Oh. Literally, mom is about to go back to Vegas. And if you wasn't such a, like I said, if you wasn't such a bitch, she'd probably be able to come to your house, and she could have had dinner at your house with his favorite dish, but that wasn't the case. So no, I don't agree.
Okay, well, Nell said something. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what y'all think. All right, last but not least, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, please make sure that you've hit that like button
and that subscribe button.
So thanks to our source, Starcasm, we're going to talk about Miss Latisha and her money issues. Now, the headline reads, Love After Lockup, Latisha Collier got 78K PPP loans, not for tax business. Okay, so I think, or I believe this is what old girl is in trouble for. We talked about it.
What? She did the PPP loans?
So it says that, as we've seen on the show, she's very open about being the CEO of Boss Tax and Accounting Services. However,
remember I told you I couldn't understand how her tax business was flourishing so much. Unless you scamming, them tax businesses really don't be.
Because it's only one time a year.
Yes.
So, however, Latisha doesn't talk much about her other business, which received a PPP loan for more than $78,000 in 2020. Boss Tax and Accounting Services was approved for $20,625 in PPP loans with 2 employees. Then in June 2020, she files a certificate of organization for credit for Boss LLC. Then it says June 28th, 2020, she was approved for 78,125 PPP loans with 7 employees. By September 8th, 2020, she puts down 40,000 on a rent to own house featured on Love During Lockup. February 12th, 2021, she is approved in Davenport, Iowa for a 20,833 PP loan for a business with 1 employee. Credit Boss LLC dissolved after failing to deliver a 2020 biennial report. But yeah, basically
it wasn't a real business.
Right. And so basically, y'all, she in trouble. They said the loan, okay, they said she was approved for 20,000 in May of 2020, and then the business and at the time, but the loan was fully forgiven. So it looks like she was
fully forgiven.
But some of the, as we know, she has fraud charges, and so it makes sense now what she's about to go through, because we all know people got caught up in that PPP stuff. So good luck to her, but I just wanted to drop that tea on y'all and just let y'all know that that's what the fraud is about. I'm sure
that makes sense why her business was flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so next up is Latisha and Keith. Now Latisha, she stood on business. Okay, when she said she was going to see about Ben, she went to go see about Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she wanted to find out about her husband's case. So when she gets there, she started pulling this man's cards about how, he was in federal prison and she found out about it and he didn't say nothing, but he said he didn't feel like there was a
and look, she said, but that's not the problem. That's not a problem. And I was like, girl, it absolutely is a problem.
And if that's not the case, why'd you bring it up? And the only point,
if I'm not mistaken, Ben, if I heard right, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think she said Ben was a paralegal. He's not a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not out here knowing paralegals, because I know they do a lot of the groundwork, the investigation.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. But I know for a fact, shout out to Simone, that they can't represent you. Even if they have all the info, they can't represent you.
I think I don't think he is. I think because remember,
because that's why they have the public defender. I guess
exactly. He had a lawyer. He had the public defender, but I think this one was just filing the necessary paperwork, the necessary motions is what it seems like.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically he said he didn't see any relevancy in telling her, and he got himself out of jail, and basically he knows what he's doing. He actually looks like, I ain't gonna say it. Then he shows her a corrected supplemental brief that was mailed off.
He looks like a scammer, because he definitely did.
Not a scammer, but he looked like he did. He do look like he did some time, and he do look like he did some drugs. He looked bad. He looked real bad.
Okay, yeah, he does.
But yeah, then he shows her a corrected supplemental brief that was mailed off that day to the court. And it shows that his sentencing was illegal, so he qualifies for expungement. Apparently, according to him, his lawyer didn't catch this because they're what the heck? What's the name of him again?
What?
The lawyer?
Ben?
No. The lawyer he had.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Public defender. Because
the public pretender.
Yes, yes. Like he said, the public pretender, they really don't have time to really actually look at your file. So that's why they didn't catch it. Now, she really don't seem to believe him, but she don't really give a damn, because she just want her man to come home. Okay, that's all she focused on. Then afterwards, she went to go meet up with a friend for dinner. So she explained to the friend that, she was all excited that he may be coming home for immediate release, and that might not be the case. So she's she's feeling some type of way because she already let her friends know, her family know, his family know. And she would have never done all that had she known that he's not coming home. She said on top of that, her money is a little funny. And she's paying all these legal bills and putting money on Keith's books, which makes me feel like the money that Keith had was not
real
Keith's money.
And it also makes, because remember, it was so crazy. You out here doing all this, and we find out you got, and he was supposed to have all this money. You spent $15,000 on a ring. I don't know. It's just not looking good. It's just not, and because she spent time flossing her lifestyle, and I think that's why production was like, "How was your business doing?"
Yeah, and she got emotional when they asked that. She said she didn't want to say, but
she probably can't say because she's in legal trouble. Anything she says, they can rewind the tape and say, "Well, you told us."
Really doesn't matter because Trish.
Well, if she had a lawyer, if she has a good lawyer, they would tell her, "Don't you say nothing about this case on that show. You'd be stupid if you did." I don't know if the charges were brought before or after filming, but she would have been stupid if she did.
Yeah. And I think Keith knows all about it. I think Keith knows all about
what she's doing,
loans and all that. Yeah, I think he knows all about it.
Mm. Well, y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about this episode of The Love That Happens After the Lockup. If you haven't already, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we'll catch you next week for another, Foolishness Felon Friday. Love After Lockup. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.